Hey, it's Ubu, and today we're playing a game called Red Finger. It's developed by Ken Forrest, and you can find it on itch.io. Basically, it's a short horror experience in which you operate an elevator in an old research complex, in which the working conditions are questionable. The game was made in 72 hours for the Ludus Dare 57 on the theme of depths, and it's also very much inspired by a game called White Knuckle, which you may have heard of, and they say, in fact, it may even be more of a parody in the end, so... Looks really cool visually, and it looked really interesting to me. I really like Ken Forrest's work. He does some good stuff, and I like their games, so yeah, I figured we'd check this out today. I just played one of theirs recently called the LiDAR Exploration Program, and that was really cool. So if you're not familiar with my channel, at the end of the video, I will review the game and share my general thoughts on this. So that's what I like to do here. If you like the sound of that, stick around. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, all right, we'll go ahead and hit start and see what's up. Start game. Nice. Your application for the position at the scientific complex has been approved. Congratulations. Starting tomorrow, you will begin your work here. Rest assured, your work in our facility is completely safe. Please sign below to acknowledge the safety protocols, as we cannot provide the details for you to read. There's no need. Okay. Additionally, we apologize for any inconvenience caused by the elevator. It seems there are some issues with the buttons, so you may need to hold them down to activate the elevator. Okay. Press space to sign the safety protocol. Space. Okay, here we are. Alright, cool. This also reminds me of a game I think I played the demo for. It's called like Eclipsium or something like that. I'd have to, I don't quite remember the name, but it has a weird hand like this. Anyways. Oh my gosh. This is a 3-kilogram button. Hold it to move the elevator. Good luck. What even is a kilogram? This is a rubber goose, not a duck. Okay. Just had to check it. Very cold and refreshing water. Very thick water. Alright, and this says hold to switch off the light. It might come in handy. Okay. I'm not really sure what to expect. I guess we just pull the button until something happens. We're going down. Okay, this is really spooky, actually. Where are we going? Started shaking. Oh, we're going really quick now. Here we go. What's that? Oh, it's a light. Oh. Hello? Why is... Oh, my hand's red because I guess stamina? That happens in White Knuckle. I actually need to go back and finish that game. I didn't make it very far. Okay, so maybe a cold hand... Oh, cold water will cool our hand down. That's what I'm trying to say. Sure. I'm just kind of hitting buttons. Game has a great vibe, though. Really, really chill. Okay, let's pull our hand down. Cool down the hand. Cool hand Luke. That's what they call me. I'm the best elevator operator around. I guess. So G1, okay, we got a code here. G1 is 509. $472. Correct. Clear. All right. Well, let's go. I actually quite like this so far. This is really cool. We are 60-something meters below the surface. A long ways. Like, we're like 200 and something feet below. What's that? I'm scared. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah! My hand's getting tired. I'm scared. What is that giant robot doing? Oh my god. I was holding the light thinking we need to hide. It looked like it wanted to eat us. Thankfully it didn't. And our hand gets tired so easily. Got some major carpal tunnel problems. That's relatable. Alright, we're making our way downtown, walking fast. We're almost there. Hang on. Boom. Okay. Let's see if we can put in some more codes. This is M6. 430, 912. Correct. Well done. Let us now move on. It's just, I guess we're just gonna keep going. I wonder how much something like this would pay. You know, it's a pretty straightforward job, but it's kind of scary and dangerous. Even though they said it's really safe, and so safe you don't need to see the protocols or whatever. Which I kind of doubt in their safety. You know what I mean. I wonder how the sync works on this elevator. Interesting design. Okay, here we are. C9. 730, 165. Correct. Look at us go. We're so good at this. There's literally no one that could ever be better than us. We're pressing buttons. We're the best at pressing buttons. The Button Master. I'm not even really sure what the rubber goose does, but maybe it's our, like, emotional support animal. What's that noise? Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know what that thing is. My best guess, like I've said before, is just to hide from it. I don't know. I'm glad we had enough stamina. 20. Why is there a timer on that? What is that? What's going on? Where am I? This gives me like almost like the Matrix kind of feel. Like this is something that people would do underground for some reason. Like retro futurism kind of stuff. At least to me it is. Reminds me of like an old anime or something. We're gonna cool our hand down. So what's going on here? 20. Nothing is happening. Oh. Okay, 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 okay. I don't know what that weird gurgling is. Let's get out of here. Oh, no! There's, like, slime, ooze, water stuff coming up. I don't know how we're gonna beat it. Our hand is getting super tired already. Let's just hold it as long as we can, I guess. But we're going quick. Alright, we're gonna just hold it forever. Come on! I think it cools down pretty quick. Yeah, it does. Okay. Nice. So we put some codes in, and then we're like, we're gonna turn on this super sludge thing or something. Weird. We might be able to finish it this second hand here. Ooh, I don't know. We might have to cool down one more time. Okay. We're almost there. Just a few more meters. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Congratulations on successfully completing your workday. See you tomorrow. Oh no, you've quit. How could this happen? A game made by Ken Forrest in 72 hours for Ludum Dare 57. Thank you for playing. You're welcome. Back to menu. Okay, I'm back on the main menu. I'll review the game. So even though it's made in a short period of time, I just like to review games. So even if they're really short, that's what I do here. So I just like to talk about them. And just so you know, these are just my opinions. So anyways, visually, I really like the game. I really like the stuff he does. And this overall atmospheric, just immersive way he does games and on the visual side of things is really strong. Like the LiDAR exploration program and Moth House and games like that. His games are always very visually pleasing, in my opinion. I like the way they look. Very immersive, very, very strange. He uses this, like pixelation sort of style, and it is very similar looking to White Knuckle. I like the use of pixelated art styles and stuff, but also when they're not just so egregiously hard to look at. So there's like striking a nice balance between, graphic fidelity, but also some sort of pixelation going on with it, and I think it looks really cool. So visually, I think the game is excellent. I think it looks really good, and I like the way the lighting is used. It gives you this sense of like almost claustrophobic darkness around you, and then there's only so much light with the elevator, and the structures that we come across, the platforms. Other than that, it's pretty dark and spooky, and I think sets the tone of the game really well, and it's cool. I think visually the game is really well done. Now, in terms of audio, this is another strong suit of the developers. I think the audio in this game is really strong. I like this foreboding, sort of strange tone on the main menu here. It's not really music necessarily. It's almost like rushing wind or something that you would hear in some kind of deep chasm or canyon or something like that. So it kind of adds to the idea that this place is monstrous, really deep, and just scary. So I like that. I like the tone this sets here on the main menu. Throughout the game, of course, there's a lot of the mechanical noises you hear with the elevator and pressing the buttons and stuff like that. And I think all of that sounds really good. I think it's important to have sound design related to the environment that when you're interacting with it actually complements the action that you're doing. So when you're pressing a button, there's a nice clicky, chunky button sound, things like that. The running water or footsteps on the metal catwalks and stuff like that. So audio all the way around I think is really strong. I don't really have any issues with it personally. I think at all times it felt correct what I was hearing. So at least that's just the way I hear things and whatnot. So yeah, good stuff audio-wise. In terms of mechanics, it is pretty straightforward. You hold down a button on the elevator, you cool your hand off in the sink, then you punch in some codes, and then you press a button and you get back on the elevator and you hold the button down until you leave and you finish the game. So mechanically the game is very simple, but I think it works really well for how short the game is and just the overall theme of the game being about depths. It is just you being on an elevator. So there's not much else to really do other than that. So I think while simplistic, I think it's effective and matches what you're doing in the game and the overall theme of the game. So well done there in terms of mechanics. Obviously, a game this short, you can't really expect there to be much else more than that. So, I think that's totally fine. So mechanically, I think the game, while simple, is effective. In terms of story and concept, there's not much of that going on here either. We are just someone who's been hired to basically press buttons and work an elevator. Really straightforward, so there's not much story, which is okay, but conceptually I actually quite like the game. I wasn't very good at playing White Knuckle. It took me a while, for some reason, to wire my brain to climb in that game. You have to climb with your left and right hand, which is on your mouse, so left click, right click, but you have to wrap your head around both your hands having stamina of their own, which is like changing colors like this does. Your hand turns red when your hand gets tired. So like you'll hold with your left hand and then you let go with your right hand and then you reach it up and then you grab with your right hand. So it's like left, right, left, right, left, right, the whole game. But just getting the idea of like when to grab and when to let go and stuff like that for some reason took me a long time. It was really frustrating. But White Knuckle is a really cool game. And this game conceptually is very akin to that. And I actually quite like how more simple this game is, just like on an elevator. I would play a game like this for real if it was much longer, where you just go up elevators or stuff like that, and then you like press buttons and put in codes the whole game. I would literally play a game like that, and I would have fun. I bet. You just add in some weird scares and stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, conceptually the game is really cool, is what my point was. So I quite liked it a lot, even though it is simplistic. That works really well for me most of the time. As long as everything else of the, with the game is coming together, the simplicity of the concept and everything doesn't really matter, at least to me. Now, performance, totally fine, no problems with the performance. Really simple stuff here. There's obviously like no real options or anything. It's super short, really well crafted because it is such a short, small game. So everything worked totally fine. I noticed here though in the main menu sometimes the music, I think whatever this sound is, seems to loop, and then there's like a cut. There's like a space in between it re-looping. So you'll like hear it cut out for like a second or something, and that sounds kind of odd. I don't know if that's a performance issue, but I wanted to point that out. But anyways, performance is totally fine. Anyways, with all that being said, my final judgment for Red Finger is I would say it's good. I think it's a good game. Obviously, there's not much going on in it, but it was an enjoyable experience for me at least. I think in terms of the overall visual design, the audio and the mechanics, I think come together in a very congruent way and work together really well. And it's just a cool little concept that works well, and I would actually play a game like this if it was expanded upon. So yeah, go do that if you want to. I think it would actually be really fun, but anyways, that's up to you, obviously. So keep up the great work, and I wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors. Anyways, tell me what you think in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this game? Do you agree or disagree with me? Do you have anything to add? Do you just want to say hi? Let me know what's up. And don't forget to check the pinned comment below for the links to everything. Go play this game for yourself. Form your own opinion and tell the developer what you think about it. I'm sure they really appreciate your feedback as well as mine. They also have a lot of other games that you can play, and don't forget to go check those out as well if you're interested. If you enjoy my content and want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe, leave a like, and share the video too. I'd really appreciate your support. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching my video, and I think that's all I have to say about it. So thanks for hanging out with me, and don't forget, The pale moth is always watching.